What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay Sidequest, your bonus content here on YouTube. As always, I am Adam, aka CS Radical, joined as always, Chris, aka Jen and Chris, and no one else because Kaylan is not allowed to these anymore because he screws up my games.
Yeah, also it was his choice. He just couldn't be here.
No, I banned him. We're going with that. That's canon now. The banning is canon.
All right, sorry, I'm not up on the lore. I'm sorry.
But speaking of banning, Hey, there's a good segue.
That's a segue.
So we're going to do a different set of series of videos. We're going to be concentrating on Final Fantasy this time around, so all you Square Enix nerds are going to enjoy the next run of Sidequests here. So we're going to go through, I want to say most of them, because I have never finished the first three. I think I've beaten 5, but it's been so long ago that I've forgotten all of it. Other than the fact that Ferris is actually a girl. That much I remember.
Spoilers.
I know, it's shocking. But yeah, we're going to do 4 and then 6 all the way to, I assume, 15. I might have to pull a bit out of my ass for 13 because I didn't finish the first one, but I played through all of 13 too. So I'm sure I could put something together.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll have to skip the online games, of course, because they don't really work. But
yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. Now, the last series that we did was just the top 5 of something. We're not doing that here. We're instead, as I pull up the old trusty Photoshop, we're going to do something a little different. We are going to do 10 categories and give just straight up our number 1. We're not doing a point system because at this point it's literally just going to be Chris's best against my best, and we'll argue it out. And I don't think we'll argue about too much stuff here. I think some of these will be pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Especially with this game, with Final Fantasy IV, we'll probably agree on a lot here because there's not like there's that much to choose from.
Also true.
4's one. Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish your thought.
Oh, I just said also true.
Yeah. 4 is one of those games where there's not as much to pull from. Like, there's only so many party members. There's really only a few villains. And as you see on the screen, there's a best NPC option. And if you've played through Final Fantasy IV, there's not a lot of them.
Not that stand
especially that have names.
Yeah, that have names and
I guess you could say, like, the girl who dances at the start when you're in Baron and just jumps into the water. Like, that's cool, I guess.
That was very cool. When I was young, that was a very cool moment.
But we're going to go through all of these categories and see, where we land on. And this will go through most of the entire Final Fantasy series as we remember some of the best stuff and then also remind ourselves how it used to be. But once we get outside of, like, 12, we'll still be happy. We'll be happy before that, and we'll worry about it more when we get to 13. Anyway. So we'll start off with the easy one. Maybe we'll disagree on this, but I don't feel like there's a different option for best male character other than Cecil.
So yeah, I mean, I have 3, but Cecil would still be my number 1.
It's just the simple fact of he's the one that goes for the most growth. So, and also
his growth. That's the thing.
The Dark Knight's cool as fuck.
Yeah, he's cool as fuck.
If they remade that game now, please, let us have a costume so that we can put over the Dark Knight character on top of the Paladin abilities, because that armor was sick.
Yeah, he definitely wins out, because Kain's very cool, Edge is very cool.
Yeah, I actually Kain's really a traitor, like it doesn't count.
Well, it's not his fault. Well, it is. But
it absolutely is his fault.
But Edge was so cool. But yeah, when it comes to growth, it's nobody can compare to Cecil, because he literally does the whole outfit change.
He also kind of is the game.
He is the game.
There are characters that have some semblance of growth, but this is in a time where a lot of the storytelling elements in JRPGs just didn't really happen all that much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of really just them doing all the work.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, I'm even trying to think who I'd put past him. I guess Edward actually is low key a little bit, has some interest to him, but as an actual party member, he's kind of shit.
Yeah, he's a shit party member with an actual decent story and actual growth as well.
Yeah.
Even more so than some of the other characters, but yeah, it's just he just Spoony Bard was shit in the actual team.
Yeah, I mean, Tella obviously would get an award just for if we had a best line. That would be the best line in this game easily.
Yeah, Oh, 100%. Oh, Tella. Oh, there's so many good characters in this game.
To the
So
point
many.
that for anyone who's not aware of it, there's a randomizer called Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, and they took the spoon and used it as a weapon for Edward. So they changed that so it would be a weapon for him because, well, if everything's randomized, there's a chance that Edward might be in your final party, and, well, he can't really do much if otherwise. So, thankfully, we decided that it would be great to give him the spoon, which has 255 attack, which is the max.
Wow.
So he actually can become useful. Now you say, well, that's kind of broken. You're right. Except he has very little HP. So in order to survive a Big Bang attack from Zeramus, the final boss, you generally need somewhere in the range of like 11, 12, 1300 HP. He doesn't hit that till like, I think, high 70s, early 80s. And most of the time, if you're speed running to get through this randomizer, because we're mostly doing it for races, you don't want to waste that much time raising him. So usually it doesn't work out that way.
No. He does have that hide ability,
Yeah.
which already shows how shit he is.
There
as
are
a
ways
party
to actually
member.
use that ability to also help with the Zeramus fight, but they're way more complicated, and I couldn't do it. No. But yeah, his weapon is the most powerful in the game, aside from Cecil's Crystal Sword. Now, Chris, did you know that sword ever existed?
The crystal sword?
Yeah, not the Excalibur, but the Crystal Sword.
No, I don't think so. I knew about the Excalibur sword, obviously. That's one of the best little side quests near the end there.
Yeah, it's another like 255 one. So I'm trying to remember how you're supposed to get it because it's been a while. Because obviously I just get a Oh right, there's 5 different altars in the moon dungeon at the end.
Yeah.
And that one has like the secret invisible floor that you don't know about that actually goes between 2 areas, and that fight leads you. Can't remember who the boss fight is for that, but that's the prize for one of them.
Oh. I don't know if I've gotten that one before. Because I grab, obviously, the weapons as I go throughout the that dungeon, obviously.
Yeah, let me see.
But I wonder if I've ever gotten that one. I don't actually remember. Like, based on its name.
Yeah, I don't know if it maybe was named something differently. I just don't remember which boss it was. Oh, it was Bahamut, that's right. Or Dark Bahamut. Wasn't that? Oh, Dark Bahamut, I'm assuming means Wyvern. I got to remember, too, there's different names over the years of that game. Yeah, I think that's the Wyvern boss fight. It's been a while. I don't remember playing. I'm so used to playing the randomizer, I don't remember what the OG is actually supposed to be like. Because there's also like the adamant armor, which I'm assuming you also haven't heard about.
It sounds familiar, but that's because so many Final Fantasies reference that name.
I assume you won't, at least in Forest Case, because the only way to get it is there's a specific room on the moon, or the lunar subterranean if you're being technical here, that there's a small percentage chance that you'll get a battle with a bunch of pink puffs, which are just like the jelly monsters, but there's 5 of them. And beating them gives you, I think it's a 5% chance or something like that to earn the pink tail, which you go trade in back with the guy who gives you the Excalibur, and he'll give you the adamant. No, not that guy. No, the guy you trade the rat tail with. I can't remember what it was for. But you trade that to him, and he gives you this armor, which is insanely overpowered and pretty much protects you from everything.
Oh. I don't know if I know about that.
There are 2 things that like you would easily miss if you were just playing the base version.
Yeah. I knew that one with fighting the pink jellies. I do remember that. I've never actually done it myself because I've usually been overpowered in that game anyways. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I do know of that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough about teaching everybody about the randomizer. So best female character. So I think there's really only 2 choices, so it's a matter of whether it's Rosa or Rydia, and I just go to Rydia because it's a more interesting story and she has the summons.
That is mine too. Yeah, it's that Rosa unfortunately is just kind of portrayed as the love interest. Rydia goes through like a whole fucking thing, obviously. So I always would give it to her. Like, yeah, like...
And, like, she goes through literal character growth.
Yeah, like, literal growth. Like, she ages, she gets sucked up into a tsunami, she ends up in the world of Summit. Like, there's so much cool shit that happens to her specifically, where Rosa, it's like, she loves you so much, so she came after you. Oh, she got sick. Oh no, we have to go get her the thing, the Antilion or whatever. Okay, cool. Now she's healed. Okay, she'll join the party and she'll heal us. Like, she's just kind of the damsel, obviously, the love interest, where Rydia is kind of like, from when you meet her, shit goes down, and she kind of comes out the other end of it. So, yeah, I'd have to give it to her.
Yeah, I mean, also like, it's really cool to see like her being a summoner with a lot of summons that you will never see again, like the Mist Dragon being one specifically.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how she has like we said, a story that's unique to how most characters are just like they're here and then they're not, and then Rydia's like one of the very few that has like an actual pathway that goes just beyond, we're trying to stop everybody. Mm-hmm. Obviously like her not wanting to use the fire spell because that's what killed her mom. Now, granted, it was over very quickly because they had to progress the plot, and Rosa literally just by saying you can do it, and she suddenly could get over her trauma, which is not how most people do. But I digress. This is a game from the early 90s.
Yeah, they only had so many text boxes they could type out.
But yeah. All right, so best villain. Let me nominate the true one, which is Rubikin's leg.
Just his leg.
Yeah.
He is my choice. I didn't go just with his leg. I went with the whole thing of him, but he actually is the villain that I put as my number one.
Yeah, like I thought about Golbez, but Golbez is kind of boring.
Yeah, he's kind of just too... obviously, I think they're going for a Darth Vader-ish vibe with him. Where with Rubicante, or however you say his name, there's kind of like an honor to him, but also like, some story there between him, especially the Edge character. Very, 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 very cool character.
And like also with just the idea of his, like there's some interesting like different concepts with some of them. Like Kainatsu is kind of boring in the sense of like it's literally just you got to whittle him down quickly because the wave just does more damage based on how much health he still has.
Yeah.
So that one's like not nearly as fun. Valvalis is interesting because obviously like you can't really do much damage to her unless you have Kain there to jump on her, but that's just that's a gimmick. Mylon is just a 2 battle thing, so it's just more like it's not even his final form kind of deal. Rubikin is a thing where there's a little more complexity, and like you got to be careful on when you're attacking him, and also like depending on which area he's attacked in is based on how you want to approach it. So there's a little more strategy to it instead of just I just only do this if that's the case.
Yeah.
And also just this design's really goddamn cool. And come on, leg. He's
leg,
the one that gives his leg.
He does until he like closes up and it's like, don't attack me. Okay, the leg's back out. You may attack me.
Right?
What a great character design. He's so cool.
All right, well now we get to the really tough one.
Yeah, this was tough until you and I discussed it briefly before recording.
Because there's like
I was enlightened very quickly.
Like when it comes to NPCs, there's a lot of them. It's just most of them don't have names. It's kind of hard to say. But I thought about it a little bit and then realized very quickly, the answer has to be Yong's wife, because she gives you a friggin' frying pan to beat the shit out of Yong with, so that way you progress the plot.
I love that you found a picture from the 3D version of the game, because it's got her holding the fucking pan.
Yeah.
But
the
she
only thing
does.
that makes me sad, going back to the randomizers, that it's not actually a weapon. I'm very sad. It has to still stay as a key item. Makes me very sad.
Yeah,
could have been some fun stuff. Imagine having that as a throwing weapon for Edge, just bonking people with a pan.
I would love that. Oh, yeah, that whole concept is so funny to me. Like, it's just like this super tough dude is like in a coma. His wife's like Just abuse him with this pan. One smack in the head.
I mean, I think in canon, it's actually you're just hitting the pan with a spoon, and he just gets woken up because he knows his wife's about to yell at him. But in my heart, I believe they're just whapping him on the freaking head.
Yeah, I've always
the only way to wake him
that
up from a coma is a concussion, right?
Yeah, I believe
that makes sense.
The physical violence is what woke him up. Oh, I love
Summon
that.
is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think most people would assume, well, Bahamut's the most powerful one, so clearly that's the best. I don't necessarily go based on power. Because I'm leaning to the Mist Dragon just because I think it's such a cool idea.
Same. Yeah,
and also with the fact that
there's
there's like actual story value to it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I chose that one too. You've got the actual story connected with the dragon, and you actually feel bad too when you learn some other stuff. When you run into Rydia's mom and she's not doing well because you took out her summon and stuff like that, and it's like, oh,
because it's essentially her life force.
Yeah, like that is deep. And then it just obviously just goes from there where you burn down the village. But yeah, it's a very good summon because it actually has some story behind it, where it's most of the other summons are just like, oh, look, I'm the fire summon. Oh, I'm the ice summon. I'm the earth summon. And it's just like, it's their element with no backstory for the most part, at least in this game.
Yeah. All right. So far we're matching 5 for 5 here.
Yeah.
Again, this was going to be a way easier than any other of the games in the series because of just the sheer amount of stuff in this game is just not as high. But let's see if we start to change up here. So best overall song. I'll let you go first because I've been going first for all of this so far.
This one I'm stuck on, kind of, because I've got 2. And I could use the second one. Oh, sorry, I could not use the second one. And then that would actually screw up my best fight song. So I think I'm going to have to kind of switch here. I mean, I'm very, very partial to just the overworld theme. Like the map theme. I know it's not the best song in the game. But for me, it's just like such an iconic song that whenever I hear it, it just like takes me back. So I might go with that one. Yeah, I'll go with that one in the interest of
So just the general overworld theme.
Yeah, the general overworld theme.
So let me throw my response on that one. To me, like, and this is the one that I think is the coolest sounding because it sets the tone right from the very beginning, and that's the opening song, which is the Red Wings.
Yeah, that's also a really good one.
Because that one just overall sets the tone for this epic journey you're about to do. Because it really does, like, hit you right away with being like, all right, some shit's about to go down.
Yeah. See, I actually agree with you. The hardest part for me that'll be with this entire series, by the way, is my favorite thing, or the thing that draws me into Final Fantasy the most, is the music. I've met Nobuo Uematsu and stuff like that. Like, I'm obsessed with Final Fantasy music. It's like one of my favorite things in the whole world. So picking a favorite is hard because as soon as you said Red Wings, I was like, fuck, that's like my favorite song. But as soon as you'd be like, oh, Zeramis's song, I'd be like, fuck, that's my favorite song. Like, there's so
believe
many
me, when we get to Final Fantasy VI next time, it's going to be a bitch because there's so many good tracks in that game.
There are a ridiculous amount. I just finished playing 6's Pixel Remaster, and every song along that journey, brutal. But you know what? I'd be great going with the Red Wings because it's just as nostalgic to me, and it really does set a tone, as you said. It kind of, the way it just kind of like the game just starts to go from dark and like kind of just lights up, and you just see the Red Wings going, and the music starts playing, and that's how the intro to the game starts. It's just like, whoa, what the fuck is going down? Like, that's insane. What's happening?
And also, like, for the time, like, that was a pretty incredible start to a game too.
Oh yeah, with these kind of graphics and stuff, and to be able to just, with such like obviously limited graphics is what I mean by that, to actually portray something where it's like, oh, some shit is going down. This is like deep. So yeah, it's a great song, and I think that it sets an incredible tone, especially for its time. Like on a Super Nintendo game, like how?
So I assume then if we go on to boss music or fight song, it's probably going to be Battle with the Four Fiends then, right?
Yes, and that was my issue because I love the song when you're fighting Zeramis at the end. I think it's like so awesome, but that Four Fiends is I think for me like it's got to be the number one.
And it's arguably like one of the best boss songs we've had in a Final Fantasy game, period.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like I think like and we obviously won't be doing 5, but like Battle on the Big Bridge kind of stands out as one that kind of works for that. But like,
Oh yeah. Oh, very much so.
but this is definitely one of them that just kind of really. Oh god damn it! I can always click on something wrong. This is one of the ones that like every time I hear it, like I immediately start humming like the remainder of it.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think it has the in it now that I think about it. No, I can't spell fiends now. Boo.
Fiends.
Okay. Best boss fight. Now this is where it can get a little bit interesting.
Yeah, because there's so many good ones. Like you've got literally Rubicante or any of the other Four Fiends, right? You've got the Mega Sisters. You got Zeramis at the end. You do face off against Golbez a couple times. You've got those creepy dolls that turn into one big creepy doll in the dwarves' castle. God, there's so many good ones. This one is tough. I know when I was younger, I hated the wall, that moving wall.
That's my answer because I think it's such a cool concept because it actually makes you panic.
Yeah, it killed me a lot too. Like I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, I was very underleveled for that one too when I got to it.
So you know what? I'd be good going with that one. That one's iconic. They've even reused it. I know Final Fantasy 12. Yeah. Yeah, that bridge, that wall, like it's also just fucking terrifying, the concept. Like it's just a wall with a creepy skeleton looking demon thing in it. And then all of a sudden it just is like moving closer and closer to you. It's kind of like the fear you get when you face off against a Tonberry, but like it's a whole wall. And once it gets to the end, it just like crushes you and it's over. Like it was terrifying. And I remember like this was back when I would be renting this from like a Blockbuster or something. Mm-hmm. I had to re-rent this a couple times, and luckily my save was always there, stuck at this wall, so that I could grind out some levels and then eventually finally beat it. Yeah, this is definitely, it's funny because this is the point of the game for me where the difficulty hit a wall.
Yeah, like especially with the older games, like growing up, like I didn't really understand playing like both 4 and 6, like how to actually, what I actually need to do to progress.
Yeah.
Like when I was just playing with 4, like this is back in the day where all you have were rentals. So if you didn't own the game, you were trying to rush through it, which meant that I was running a lot from fights. Mm-hmm. And not realizing how much experience was going to be necessary because I figured, okay, I can probably like finesse it a little bit.
Yeah, I did the same.
and then you get to Evil Wall and it goes, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Nice try.
There was no getting around that wall.
No, he comes in and he wrecks your shit.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the amount of times I died and the stress. I think I remember yelling at my TV, like, "Come on, come on!" Yeah. Oh, great memory. But now I can destroy the wall. Every time I get there, I'm already prepared. I just kill it. Like, no, fuck you, wall.
And now we get to the last couple tricky ones. So best town and city. So this one's a little bit harder to do because most of them aren't that, like, notable. 4 is one of those weird ones where just a lot of them just kind of look the same.
Yeah.
At the end, like, I thought about it for quite a bit, and I just ended up kind of sticking with Baron with mine. Just because... It has like the nicest overall like look to it. It's a little bigger than most of the areas, and it doesn't just look like a village in a forest where like there's more walls. There's the stairway that leads to that like waterway. Like there's a little bit of stuff going on when there. Whereas like other areas like oh my god, where's Young's Fabul? Like it's literally just a castle. Like there's not really much to it. Troyo is another one I thought of, but that one is basically just barren without the stuff. Like it's just a bunch of buildings in a forest. So like I ended up leaning to barren just because I felt like I had the most like a most extra to it.
Yeah, I actually had two. And it's funny because you mentioned both. I had barren because it's it's barren. It's where you start, but also it's where they probably put the most effort in,
Yeah.
castle and town wise. But the other one I had was Troya, because I did find that when you were walking around, it had its own unique music. It had like waterfall looking things and stuff throughout it. Like it was meant to be the beautiful city where everything is perfect and beautiful, and you go there to heal. It's almost like it's, would be run by the elves from like Lord of the Rings. Like it's the beautiful place. But I'd probably still give it to Baron because, again, unique song, obviously, that plays in the castle, but still, like, it's all kind of connected. Plus, you do return to it a few times. Most of the other places are one and dones. So it is nice to actually have a place that you need to come back to. It's like the hometown of a lot of the main characters and like that kind of stuff. Are you putting that in boss fight?
Oh,
There
you
go.
saw nothing.
But yeah, like the amount of times you come back here and even need to like sneak into the city and stuff like that. And there's like a sewer or teleport thing or whatever was in there. So you see like a locked door early on in the game, and it actually ends up being something that you're a part of like halfway into the game a lot later. Yeah, it's a great one. But yeah, Troya easily so close with my number 2.
Yeah.
Just with the beauty of it and the music and that kind of stuff.
And now we get to the final one. Again, this is a little bit harder because some of them just kind of blend together. I ended up picking the Giant of Babel just because it's essentially
Yes.
a dungeon in a fucking mech.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's that. And again, I'm going to keep referencing the music. This is going to be an annoying thing for everybody who watches all of these side quests. Because again, I associate most of Final Fantasy with the music, but even the music that plays Tower of Babel, like so good. So it's such a cool thing. It's like you're inside a dungeon. There are people outside the dungeon, like firing at the mech thing while you're in it, oddly enough. It's just such a cool concept. Very cool design dungeon. It's like you're in like this medieval place. All of a sudden, inside this mech is like very futuristic, which is very different from the scene. Again, you get to see in the dungeon, outside the dungeon, and the music. The music just makes it a chef's kiss as a dungeon too. So it's easily the Giant of Babel. Yeah.
That's crazy though. Like I knew that with this that there was going to be some amount of variation. We went 8 for 10 without any argument. Like it was literally just Baron and Red Wings that we just had to like take a second to kind of decide between. Everything else was just yeah.
Yeah, 100%. This game is one of those ones where I feel like the people who love Final Fantasy, and which include the retro Final Fantasies, we're almost all like in agreement on what made them all so special and like were their best parts and everything.
Well, I would even go as far as saying, like, honestly, like, if I was ever to introduce someone to the series for the first time, I would almost say, like, especially now the pixel remasters exist, start with 4. Because it's one of the most simplistic. It's not. I'm not saying it's baby easy. I'm saying it's in the sense that there's not nearly as many weird systems to remember. It's very linear in how you go to places. So, like, if you've never played JRPGs that much before, and you're okay with playing something that's a little more classic, this works for me very well because it's nothing over the top. Like, everything is relatively streamlined for at the time, because back then too, like, they were still trying to find what they needed to, because the original 3 were, from what I understand, very difficult. So they were trying to find a way that they could make them a lot more doable for like for audiences all over the place. Because I mean, obviously Japan they're into the old school stuff, so they're into a kick in their ass. They apparently have this very masochistic nature to their games. I don't know what it is about them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, it's the same with Mystic Quest, where they're trying to find something that works a little bit better for everybody.
Yeah,
And
that
4
was the
one
baby
where they
version.
decided to go like, hey, let's just not do any complicated systems. We don't do like a job system or anything. It's just, hey, here's the attacks, here's the abilities, here's the magic. And if you want to go somewhere, here's where you go. You don't really get lost much in this game because there's not really a large map to get lost in. Like, you're always progressing further into the map. Like, you're not really ever needing to stop.
Yeah. The parts you can really get lost in are when they had the different vehicles on the world map. And in order to get to like one island, even though you had a flying ship, you couldn't get there with the airship. You needed to get like the magnet to pick up the hover,
the hook,
crap. Yeah, and then like bring that close and get off the ship so you could get on that, or
Like
get
the
on a black
closest to
chocobo.
complicated that you got was when you went underground and you had the areas that you need to float in order to not take damage on, and you might
Yeah.
not have thought about that.
Yeah, or the dungeon with the dark elf or whatever it was called. And
Oh yeah, Cave Magnus. That was
Yeah,
gonna be my
with the magnets. Yeah.
my best dungeon, and then I realized actually no, I hate that dungeon.
I do too.
It's a
That
cool
dungeon pissed
concept,
me
but I
off.
hate that dungeon.
Yeah,
Because that dungeon entirely was like all metal armor and weapons didn't work. So you would walk into that with like lesser armor or like specific armor that was designed to be for that dungeon, and you would go in with like bows and staves. So like you wouldn't actually be going with your best stuff most of the time. You'd be going through completely with magic in that
Yeah.
one, which is a cool concept, but also a bitch. So
yeah. It was a cool concept that made the dungeon a real bitch to get through. That's the
and then
best
you
way to
realize, oh yeah, there's a fucking dungeon where you're inside a goddamn mech.
Oh yeah, no, that is easily the best one, like hands down.
Because like the only other ones like boss would have been a much more interesting conversation otherwise. Because there's some really cool bosses too outside of that. Like I don't know if you remember the plague boss, which was the one of the lunar subterranean ones where it was like the floating eyeball,
Oh yeah,
and that was the one where it just casted doom on you. So you want to talk about panicking?
yeah. Oh, that's one of those Final Fantasy Doom bosses where they like to cast doom. And
Do you remember
gotta get
the cheat way on that boss?
No.
You just beat the shit out of one of your NPCs that's the weakest one, and just revive them, and it resets the counter.
Oh, I never did that.
As long as you
never
do
had
it
to do
fast
that.
enough. As long as you do it fast enough that it doesn't that the boss has their turn again to recast Doom, it resets everyone's timer.
Oh. Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I don't remember struggling with that one though, so that could be why. I didn't
No,
know
because
that.
by that point you've probably overgrinded, so you would just hack
Oh,
the shit out of it to death.
Fuck yeah, I did. Oh yeah.
Same with like how whenever you'd fight Bahamut, you would just cast Reflect on everybody, and he would just reflect his Mega Nuke back at him.
Yeah.
I think the only other boss battle I could think of that was really cool too was just the overall battle with the four fiends, like actual fight where you battle all four of them in succession.
Oh, that is a very cool fight. I loved that because it was where you'd already faced each of them individually, and then they all come like as one big group. And
I don't know if it's possible to do it in the base game, but you can actually win the fight long before you get to Rubicant.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, because if you did like, especially when you're playing with randomized equipment, you might have the Bahamut summon way too soon. You might have the Crystal Sword with adamant armor, and just your strength is through the roof. And you're also berserking them, so they're just taking so many turns before the boss actually does anything. And you can just straight up kill them with like only two bosses in.
I didn't
Just
know
because
that.
they only have a set HP in general, so it's
Yeah.
not like there's phases. It literally just at a certain HP point it triggers to send it to the next one. But if you just keep hammering it like all the damage down, like eventually just the system says, "Well, you've already hit them to zero, so I guess it's over."
Yeah, it's like you killed all four before they even all showed up.
There's so many like interesting little gimmicks with a lot of the boss fights that I've learned over my time playing the randomizer. It's like, oh my god, you could break this game so easily.
Yeah. Yeah, which I would have been great to know when I was a kid. But with the Pixel remasters, I guarantee you don't need any of this. You can turn the amount of XP and gold and everything you get up by like 4. So when I played through the game again, I think I was like level like low 90s when I was going into the final dungeon or at the end of the final dungeon without actually really grinding the game. Just I didn't run from fights, and they started to get easier and easier as I went, so I just kept it going. And certain bosses with 4 times XP, holy shit. You level up like crazy. But I mean, I've already beaten the game like 20 times in my life, so I don't need to grind for the 21st. I'm willing to just have it handed to me so I can go through the story one more time.
Yeah, exactly. That's a game that I could just play infinitely. I've never played the Pixel remaster version because I think I just like playing the OG so much that I'm just okay with. It's one of the few ones where I'm okay with going back and playing the original version.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Pixel remasters, though, I will admit, for anybody who's like who loves these retro ones, I played 1 through 6. I played through all of them. They are incredible. They really do. They seem like somebody took the Super Nintendo versions of these games, and I know the first 3 are NES, but imagine they did for some reason come out kind of on Super Nintendo, and just like a whole bunch of quality of life improvements added to them, and like upped the resolution so that if you were on a 4K TV, it doesn't look like blurry. It looks still crisp and just like the Pixels would have looked like back in the day. Yeah, they're a fantastic set of games, like in that Pixel remaster. And if you get them on sale, they're like $15 each, so you can pick and choose the ones you love, and it's dirt cheap and infinitely replayable, in my opinion, like you kind of just said with 4.
All right, well, I think that's a good place to end. So that's going to do it for this one. So we're going to keep going through. I'm pretty sure this one we're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's going to include 10 too. We're not going to do like offshoots. It'll just be everything combined there.
Yeah.
12, 13, and 15. I can't. 16 doesn't make any sense for me because I played like a quarter of it. So
yeah, and like,
and honestly, straight up, I couldn't even name you music in that game because I didn't notice anything in that game.
I noticed some, but I think it repeated a lot.
Like, I think with 15's the only tricky one I'm going to have with music, but I'll quickly just look up the sound. Like, I already know best overall song. That one I've got. The fight songs I don't remember, so I'd have to go and double check.
Yeah,
that.
I do not remember those at all.
But, yeah.
Yeah, those will be tough. 13 will probably be the last one where I have, like, oh, that song or that and that.
13 too had such good music. I'm not worried about that at all.
Oh, 13 too had such good music. Oh, my God. Yeah, that was
now,
like
unfortunately, I'm going to have to choose between 2 songs specifically in 13-2 for best overall song because there's either the really beautiful option or do you think you can ride this chocobo?
You had at first when you were like really beautiful version, I'm like, oh, me and Adam might be aligned, and then you mentioned the chocobo song. I'm like, right, that was a really good fucking version of that song.
So there's always a trip up.
Yeah.
But we will see. We will be doing 6. Like we said, I don't have any memory of 5, so I honestly can't add anything to that.
I could do it, but I'd be doing it solo at that point.
Yeah, what would be the point at that point? There's no conversation. Like, I'm literally just, I'm here to hit record, and I'm just here to sit back and listen to Chris go nuts about 5 for a bit. Which I guess could be interesting, but also I don't want to be here for 30 minutes and do nothing, so.
Yeah.
I like talking too. Can you tell? I talk a lot on these shows.
No, come on. You never talk.
I never do. But anyways, so you know the drill here on YouTube. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys for doing that. Obviously, leave a comment below. Is there anything that we missed? I'm sure there's an NPC out there that y'all are like, how did you forget X person? I'm like, sorry, it's
the King of Baron. He was the whole point.
Well, no, but Odin's a summon, so he could have been part of that.
He could have, true.
So there you go. Anyway, but yeah, we will see you on the next one. So without further ado, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye for now.